In a horrific and shameful incident, a Spanish tourist who was on a bike tour with her husband was allegedly raped and assaulted by 7 men in Jharkhand's Dumka district. Yes, that's our big focus this hour. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Out of 7, only 3 have been arrested so far, and a special investigation team has been launched. The woman and her husband were seen resting in a makeshift tent when they were attacked by local youth who not only raped the woman but allegedly beat the couple and looted their belongings. The incident has sent shockwaves through the entire country. National Commission of Women members have met with the police in Dumka and urged them to take immediate action. A manhunt is currently underway to nab the remaining accused. After going through the ordeal, the woman and her partner shared a video on social media narrating the incident. Let's listen in.
Bueno, estamos en el hospital.
Nos ha pasado algo que no deseamos a nadie.
Nos han asaltado en la tienda, nos han golpeado, nos han puesto el cuchillo en el cuello que me iban a matar. Y a Fernanda la han violado. 7 tíos.
Former diplomat joins us live. We also have Tahira Hassan, women's rights activist, live with us. Leher Sethi, women's rights activist, also joins us live. Rakhi Dubey, women's rights activist, is also with us on the broadcast. Let me begin with you first. Ambassador, what do you make of this absolute shocker? This is very, very embarrassing for India as a tourist destination, isn't it? Ambassador Sachdeva, that question was for you, sir. Okay, I think we're having some trouble there with this connection. Let me rope in Tahira Hassan onto the discussion. Tahira, what do you make of this absolute shocker and what kind of action would you now call for? Tahira, can you hear me? Okay, I think we are having some audio trouble with our guests, unfortunately, today. Let me bring in Leher Sethi if I can. Then, Leher, very, very sad that a foreign woman had to go through this. Your first reaction to this shocker?
I mean, what can one react to this? It's become an everyday lived reality in India. I mean, every day we wake up to such horrific stories of underage minor girls getting raped. And I mean, rape cases have become an everyday news to us. So most of us in India are so used to reading about them. But yes, I mean, it's a matter of great shame reading and hearing about it. And I watched the video actually on Instagram yesterday when I logged into Instagram at night. I happened to come across the video. And it was very upsetting to see the couple going through the sort of distress that they did. And both the husband and the wife were visibly traumatized. So it's extremely sad. I think women are not safe in our country, and it just brings the focus back to that. And, you know, this is Women's Month. This is the month where women are celebrated all over the country, all over the world, in fact. You know, 8th of March is Women's Day, and you have these big celebrations, and everybody talks about women and their empowerment and how far we've reached. But women are still not safe. So that's something to think about.
Yes, let me get in Rakhi Dubey into the conversation as well. Rakhi, you know, this is a big blow to India as a tourist destination as well. This kind of video and this kind of incident that has happened.
Yeah, it's really shameful that these kind of incidents are happening in India. And when on the one side, the government is working hard to build a good image and to attract tourism in India. The government is actually building, really making a lot of efforts so that the India economy may increase and people may have faith on India. Tourists may visit, and when the tourists, foreigners are considering that faith and are visiting in India, this is really discouraging and this is really disappointing. I think the investigating agencies should be now more alert because these female safety is the most priority, is one of the priorities which is of the government. The existing government is really working hard that the women may feel safe, they may feel empowered, but at the same time, these kind of incidents happening, it is totally contrary to what actually the government is planning. So I think in the present scenario, it's really disgusting that these incidents are happening when we are saying Atiti Dev Bhava, we believe in Atiti Dev Bhava. But when Atiti is coming, if this kind of thing which they have to face, I'm sorry, then we will not be able to have more foreign tourists in India. So it's an alarming thing, and the government, state government and the central government should think how to ensure the safety and the security of the tourists and of the Indian females, so that they may feel more safe. Because these, as earlier said, rightly said, that the rape cases are a daily phenomena which is happening in India, which is really not good, and it is not delivering a good picture at international level. And these kind of video on Instagram is further more disturbing. So I think it's really important that we should ensure that the tourists who are visiting India, they should feel safe, and in future, no tourists should ever face these kind of a thing, these kind of harassment and these kind of assault. And further, at the same time, the females should also be safe. So they have to make some certain guidelines so that this may not happen. And an individual, as an individual, each and every person in society also should ensure, they should ensure that these incidents may not happen, and how we can discourage these kind of incidents.
Yes, let me also, in fact, quickly take that across to, Ambassador Sachdeva, if he can hear me now. Ambassador Sachdeva, on this horrific incident happening with a foreign citizen in our country, how embarrassing is this?
It is deeply embarrassing. It's a very shameful and condemnable act that sullies the image of India, as other participants have mentioned. But I would like to also add a bit of perspective here. For the information's sake, the couple were partners, they were not married, and the girl is half Brazilian. She's Brazilian born, and she is a Spanish national. The gentleman is 68 years old, 63 years old, I think. Having said that, I should also add that in El Mundo, Spain's biggest newspaper today, this is the headline on the foreign page, this item, saying, if I can translate it for you, the motorcycle trip through India that ends with 7 men raping Fernanda. They took turns raping me. When I was screaming, they hit me in the face. Now, it's all gory details, and it's not a pleasure reading this item translated into English, but the bottom line is something that I would like you to read. I'd like to read for you. It says, Vincent explains that as soon as they are allowed to leave, they will take the motorcycle to go to Nepal, to Kathmandu, and from there they would take the plane to go back to Spain. The only thing I ask now is that the people do not see India as a country of rapists. In general, it's a very safe place where we have been treated great by very humble and hardworking people. This can happen anywhere because in there are evil people everywhere. It's gracious of them, facing such a big tragedy, such a big heinous attack, being able to say these kind of things for India. And it humbles us and should put things in their proper perspective. It's an isolated act. It does sully our image, as I've already said, but I think mea culpa by entire 1.4 billion people is not warranted. There's systemic failure that I would like to also admit. We should have been safer for foreigners to visit, but these things do happen, as your channel has been talking about Indians being murdered in a random manner, perhaps in the United States, in Britain, and elsewhere. I have participated in condemning those incidents, and it's a bit with a heavy heart that I see this. But there are criminals everywhere, and these things are as likely to happen in Spain as they are happening in India.
Yes. Yes. Let me, quickly take that across to Tahira Hassan as well. Tahira, what kind of exemplary punishment would you call for?
I think the punishment, again and again, I have said so many times on your channel also, not very, what kind of exemplary punishment we can say? Hang them. That is enough people are when they, in anger they say, but I think conviction rate should be increased in each and every case of the violence against the women. You know, after Nirbhaya, I ask again and again that after Nirbhaya, when the Justice Verma Committee was constituted, and we women rights activists, we gave our inputs, and very strong law is in our hand. Why that is not implemented properly? Question is this. This incident is shocking. Every time when I sit on channels and I'm giving my talk in seminar, we talk this thing. This is horrifying. It has shaken us. How many times we have been shaken by these type of incidents? It's a shame what kind of image we are projecting. That how the women are treated. The crime against the women is not taken seriously, it seems. And why the people are not scared of the law? What is the law and order situation in the Jharkhand and other states where the women are treated like that? Why not redressal of such cases through the fast track court within the 3 months? Give the redressal so the witness will not get hostile and conviction rate will be increased. So I think that now high time we must talk how to curb it. How to curb this type of cases which are rising every day, and the violence against the women. Why not taking seriously? How they dare to take the law in their hand? Next time when they will come out, they will commit more heinous crime. Police must investigate properly and collect all the evidences and produce in the court, because the honorable court will give order on the evidences. On the basis of the evidences that will be produced by the police. So I think these things has to be taken in consideration. And this is very, very humiliating, I will say, for me at least, and very horrifying, this incident, that our foreign, this Spanish woman who has been raped, gang raped, and she said that I cannot express my trauma, and I wish that this never happens to someone else. Can you imagine? I can imagine being a woman, that what kind of trauma she must have gone through it. And nothing could be more humiliating and big violence than the violating women body. So I think the action must be taken. It's very true. One of the panelists has said, we are approaching to the 8th March, International Women's Day. We are going to celebrate, every time we celebrate Women's Day. And we glorify that, yes, we respect women. Who are these men who don't respect? And why the women are just raped here and there in our cities? Why this is happening? When there is law, and the rape law has been reformed by the Justice Verma Committee. So we must go through the laws which are made and launch the this campaign that other women must know about it. What the laws are there for them, these are tools in their hands. And so I think the only thing is this: increase the conviction rate. Conviction rate should be at least 99%. This time 27%. Can you imagine? When there is a conviction rate 27%, these culprits, these rapists will get away after committing the heinous crime, after violating women's body, and next time they will do more heinous crime. So action must be taken against them. We are really ashamed of this.
Yes, but and the fact is that obviously, because as you were saying earlier, Leher, this has gone viral on social media, it becomes all the more embarrassing. The last thing, of course, we would want is for tourists not to come looking at this particular case, which is why obviously if action is taken timely, these very tourists can put out a message saying that they are
Yes.
happy with the action taken and the aftermath of this of this terrible ordeal that they've had to go through.
Yes, stringent punishment must be given. Stringent punishment
Leher.
must be given to these rapists.
Yeah, firstly, I want to say something. I feel very upset when people keep talking about image. Image is not as important as a woman's autonomy over her body. Image is not as important as protecting women. So our first and primary motive should be to protect women, and secondly, maybe to, better our image. The image needs to come secondary, whereas everywhere, come on, think about that woman, think about her partner. I didn't know he was not her husband, not that it matters, but
Doesn't matter.
Think about those people. These are human beings. These are real people whose lives are affected. No, they aren't just, props that have led to some sort of embarrassment for India. So that's why we should be concerned. Irrespective of who it is, whether it is an Indian woman, a Spanish woman, women need to be protected in this country. And that is not happening. See the case of people like Ram Rahim. He's supposed to be in jail. And because he has been convicted in multiple rape cases, I believe there is also a murder conviction against him. But the man is out on parole, and the courts are giving him an ultimatum of a certain date to come and, come and surrender himself. What kind of an, impact is that making on people, and especially on men who commit these crimes against women? What is the message that is going out to people? And this is not the only case. Ram Rahim is not an isolated case. There are many other cases that are like this. So, we really need to change as a society in general. We need to be more respectful of women, not just by words, but in actions. We need to start it at home. We need to make our women feel more safe. I don't know if any of these women who are watching this show today or who are on the show today feel safe when they're walking alone on a road. I don't. So that needs to change.
Yes. Let me, also quickly bring in Rakhi Dubey on the way forward as well. Rakhi, what sort of action would you demand from the police there, the state police? What kind of quick justice do you believe should be given?
See, I think if you see, our Prime Minister is focusing on the welfare and the betterment and empowerment of females. So what is really important is that government has changed the major laws has been changed so that the females can get justice. The judiciary can give justice only if the investigation is done very promptly, properly, and in a very responsible manner. So I would request that investigating agencies should complete the investigation as early as possible and should collect all the vital evidences so that everything is placed on record, and there is no difficulty for the judge to convict them and to give a heinous punishment to these people, because we have to ensure that the investigation should be completed in a time frame manner, and the trial should also be completed as early as possible to set an example. No, India is very serious about the safety and security of the females and the foreigners also, and they are most welcome, and we are not taking these things lightly. So it is really important that investigating agencies should behave in a responsible manner, as they have done in Nirbhaya case. Nirbhaya was able to get justice only because the investigation was done in a very responsible manner. So in this case also, it has to be done very promptly and in a responsible manner so that we can set a good example.
I'm sorry, but the Nirbhaya case took 6 years. That also.
But investigation, but the charge sheet was filed only in 16 weeks.
And then too,
charge sheet was filed very promptly. Investigation was done nicely. It may have taken place, but that was about the very reasons, not because of investigating agency.
All over the country were protesting, and they were on the street. That's why the justice.
There was an international hue and cry. Despite that, it took 6 years. We have laws, but the execution is extremely poor. I think
That
that's
is the
something
reason
that we need
that
to
is
accept.
the main point, is that the investigating agencies are not behaving in a responsible manner. They have to be more responsible. If they behave in a responsible manner and
Then
if they
who will
collect
make
all the
them to
vital
behave,
evidences, then
madam?
the conviction rate will be 100%. And
Then
that is
who
the reason
will-
the major amendments have taken place in the major laws also.
Then
When
who
the
will make them to do
investigation,
their work properly?
yeah, exactly.
Who will make?
Who are they
Tell
answerable
me,
to?
madam, who will tell? Where there will be answerable? Who will
Because,
put
ma'am,
the accountability?
if you
There
have
is
gone
no
through the latest laws
accountability.
which
There's
have
no
not been
answerability.
enforced
They
right now,
have the investigation. The investigating agencies have all the time to turn up at
now under
politicians'
the new
houses
laws,
to
they are
arrest them, take them
answerable.
into
They
Laws
may
are
custody.
lose their
being
jobs. It is
implemented
just a
properly.
matter of
After
time
Nirbhaya, we
that
have very
when the new
strong
laws
laws.
will be enforced and will be implemented, then these
You
all
have
the
men,
investigating agencies
you
will be
have men
answerable.
like Brij
properly.
Bhushan Sharan Singh roaming about
Ah.
even after
And
the
the rest
Delhi
left-
police has given an affidavit saying we have found proof. Even then he's roaming around. How are women safe in this country? How are we supposed
I
to
am
feel
saying
safe?
that women
and
are
they
safe
are
in this
pride
country.
of our
I am saying
country.
that the investigating agency has to behave in a more responsible manner, and they should behave in a more responsible
In
manner
this
in this
case,
case
the
also.
investigating
They are giving
agency did their job. The man is still roaming
Our
around.
wrestlers are giving their pride, our pride, and they
I
are
think
giving
we should
evidences
not live for
themselves.
what has happened in past. We should look how can things
This is
can
not
work
the
out in the right
past.
manner in future.
If you will
So
not
that
correct the
whatever has
past,
happened
it
in
will
past
keep
may not
repeating.
repeat in future.
Not the past, it's still going on. The criminals are still roaming around free. So
That's
it's
right,
not
I
past,
agree.
part of
But
the
how
past.
can we stop them? And what
I'm
measures
sorry.
should we
It
take
took a
collectively so
Supreme
that
Court
in future this
judgment.
may not
It
happen?
It took a
This is what
Supreme
my
Court
position
judgment to
is.
send Bilkis Banu's rapist
Redressal
back to
through the
jail.
fast track court. Redressal through the
A
fast track.
Supreme Court judgment to send back Bilkis Banu's rapists. This
They were
country needs to
targeted.
change its attitude towards
So
women.
we can all collectively change this country. This is what exactly I'm saying. That we all have to contribute collectively to change the country so that this kind of incident may not happen.
So that's shifting the blame.
If
I'm
happens,
sorry.
punish the person who stands with the rapist.
Yeah,
That will
irrespective of
put
who
the-
that person is.
Who is the
Irrespective
person?
of who
Leave
the
it.
person is.
Who
When
is
it
the
is a
person?
poor man,
Rapist
will
is
only
when it is
be able
somebody
to
who
convict a person
doesn't.
on the basis of evidences. And this is the thing where the investigating agencies come in, role plays is a big question mark, because if the investigating
Investigating
agencies do
only
not
get
collect
to
the evidence
work.
properly,
No, the
how can the court convict them? So that is the reason I'm
investigating
saying that they have to
agencies
work in a responsible manner and should
That's
collect all the
exactly-
evidences.
Rakhi ji, that's what I'm saying, that
act
the investigating
responsible manner?
agencies
This is
work
exactly
based on
what I
who
was
the
also
victim
saying.
is.
This is exactly what I'm
Investigating
saying.
agencies
Then
work
put
based
the
on who the
accountability
victim is.
if they are
That's
not
not right.
acting responsible manner. Accountability must be fixed against them if they are not
This
acting
has been
in a
fixed in the new
responsible
law,
manner.
ma'am. If you can go through the new laws under CRPC, they are
laws,
not,
yeah,
they
there
are
are
not
so many
accountable.
laws that
It
we
is just
have.
a matter of
We've
trial.
always
If they come
had
in
Yeah,
court, then they should be
after Nirbhaya, we
accountable.
have very strong law that not implemented properly. This is what I'm saying. Nirbhaya fund is not used properly.
Ambassador
Why?
Sachdev, let me quickly draw you in here as well to get in your perspective on what steps need to be taken now moving forward to ensure safety for foreign tourists when they come home. Also to ensure that there is an example made of this particular case in terms of quick justice given, so that these two individuals as well, despite this terrible ordeal, can go home and say we were given justice quickly and we are happy with how the investigation panned out.
I think there are plenty of things that can be done so that the case is not used as a blight against India's reputation as such. First of all, the victim should be treated humanely. She should not be interrogated in a way that humiliates her and her partner. The Indian police in the past, including the case of a rape of a Swiss diplomat in Delhi itself, she had to run away because police was hounding her. She ran away to Switzerland and refused to collaborate with the case. So in this particular case, I think first thing I would like to insist on is discretion, privacy, and quick response to be made. Exemplary punishment should be made subject to whatever legalities we have. The courts of law we cannot predicate on, but it should be made an example, and I think the word should go around that India means serious business when it comes to protecting foreign tourists.
Not for every woman.
Some kind of apology is in order in case its allegations are established beyond doubt quickly. I think we need to make some amends, and I think the article that I have read, translation of, does show that the victim couple has appreciated what Indian authorities in Dumka has done since this horrible case, and I hope that they would continue to believe that Indian system is safe and not all Indians are rapists. Though one doesn't want to look at a silver lining in this very dark cloud, but I think such cases have taken place in Thailand, such cases which is a tourist hotspot, and within a week the two perpetrators were executed. And I think this kind of justice is needed to ensure that long-term damage globally to India's tourism and India's reputation is avoided. I think the panelists are very rightful in reacting with some amount of verve. It's something I feel very bad about. Not only Spanish women deserves it, but all women traveling through India deserve it. That's a long fight. There is patriarchal issues, the prevalence of pornography. There's all sort of things that need to be done. But in this specific case, what I think need to be done is to keep the victim, treat her in a dignified manner, and quickly run the case, and enable the courts to sort it out within a very short time, and exemplary punishment being given.
Yes. Okay, well, let's leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. It's time for a very short break.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.